welcome back to another Lightning Collection review. It feels like it's been ages since I've actually done a Lightning Collection review, to be honest. I feel like the remastered figures have been out for a little while now, so we've all seen plenty of them, and I have enjoyed every moment of those figures. But today I am going to be looking at the Lightspeed Rescue Blue Ranger. Now this is a bit of an odd one because he wasn't released in the UK, so every UK retailer that got them were import stock from the US, so obviously it was bumping the price up, and I was looking around for ages trying to find one of these, and all my usual retailers had sold out. So I did turn to AliExpress, and just as I was about to order, I'd found one for what came to about the same price on Comics and Cocktails. They had a couple left in stock. So this was £30. It was free delivery. But anyway, it's here now. So taking a look at the box, it is color coded as usual. And this may well be the last single figure that we're going to see in this packaging, or even potentially see at all from the Lightning Collection. We just don't know yet. But it's got a nice Power Rangers Lightning Collection logo at the top, telling us what we're getting inside the box with a digital render of the figure and a nice bit of artwork in the corner. On one side of the box, we've got our Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue logo at the top with the helmet at the bottom. And on the other side, just our logo again with the rest of that nice bit of artwork. And on the back, it's just telling us what we're expecting in the box. So it is a 6-inch figure. And inside we are getting Chad Lee, who is the Lightspeed Blue Ranger. So inside the box we're getting our figure with some swappable hands, his helmet, 2 versions of his weapon, and a nice lightning effect piece. And fresh out of the box, he does come equipped with his civilian head, so you can see straight away he's got that cheeky little grin going on. His hair does look pretty good. The face is okay. Does sort of give a bit of more of a cartoonish feel, you know, where he's just got like a little cheeky smirk on his face, but it doesn't look too bad. The suit does look nice with the blue, and this does all line up very nice, so no matter how much you move that, we have still got the point on the top, so that lines up really nicely. We've got these weird wide shoulders that we are seeing now, along with a nice gold belt, nice gold trim on the white boots. Now the first thing I did notice out of the box with this is that the legs do seem to be getting a bit better now, but when I got it first out of the box, they don't really want to do anything, so you can see that that one's just springing back, and I don't know if something is starting to break inside the drop down hip. But he goes from one extreme to the other, so he's either really stiff where you can't even lift his leg up, or he's really loose where he won't support his own body weight. Luckily I don't play around too much with these figures, so it will just sit in a pose and go on the shelf, but it is a little bit disappointing, I must say, especially when I've been looking for it for such a long time. I must say, with these complications, this probably is one of the worst figures that I've ever had, I must admit. And looking at some accessories, he does come with 2 weapon holding hands, a blaster version of his weapon, an open sword or baton. It does come with a lightning effect piece, which we have seen before, and just slots over quite nicely like so. And his nice Blue Ranger helmet, which is higher gloss, and it does look really well painted, so I can't complain at that at all. To put his helmet on, we just pop the head off. And squeeze the helmet on, and he is ready to go. So moving on to some articulation of the figure. His head does do a full 360. Now you do have to be careful because the neck does move. He does have butterflies in the shoulder, and you can see the joints up the top of the shoulder, so these are a bit wider than we've seen before. They do come out quite nicely, and then we've got an upper bicep swivel with the double jointed elbows, and a full 360 on the wrists, and then depending on what hand you've got, they do have a small amount of movement there. The upper body is on a ball, and then we do have the ab crunch on the lower section. He unfortunately does have drop down hips, and I really can't stand these. Especially when you can see the gap like that, it just doesn't look good. But with this figure, it is either all or nothing, unfortunately. Whereas mine is either very loose, or really stiff to the point it doesn't even lift up, which is very strange. But anyway, we've got double jointed knees, the upper thigh swivel on the cut of the boot, and the top of these are painted nicely, which we've seen them not be doing on other figures before. And the foot does go up and down and is on an ankle rocker. And moving on to the comparison, so here he is with the rest of Wave 15. So we've got the RPM Yellow Ranger and the Turbo Red, which are all really nice looking figures. I don't think any of them look overly awful, and it is quite a strong wave. It is a little bit odd that there's only 3 in the wave, but this is the last wave that we are seeing before Hasbro decide to leave us in the lurch. So we still don't know what's going on with Hasbro just yet. But hopefully once we get into 2024, we'll start hearing a little bit more going around as to whether we're going to get any more figures or not. So you can see that the male figures, they are using the same body mold, and they've got this odd wide shoulder thing going on. And then here he is with just a couple of more Blue Rangers, and obviously you can see where the difference in the old body molds are, especially on the shoulders having that very wide shoulder. I just think that these older style shoulders just flow a little bit better than these ones. Yeah, and as I said, they're not overly awful, but I just prefer the older ones. So moving on to the final thoughts on the figure, it's an okay figure, but the suit does look really, really nice. I feel like on this figure, the blue pops really well, and the gold against that blue and the white on the gloves and the boots does look really, really nice. It is a really nice gold that they've used, so very happy with that. The detail in it is pretty good. The face sculpt is all right, and it does give off a bit of a cartoonish sort of feel to me. You know, he's got that hunched over look with the smirk on his face. It kind of looks a little bit dopey, but it is what it is, and for the most part, I'm happy with the way it looks. Now, the downside for me was the fact that the drop down on the hips was so awful. He was really, really stiff to move at first. The legs wouldn't bend at all, and then when it got to the point that it would actually move, it was too loose, and nothing's broke on it. It's just really, really weird. It's either really, really stiff when they're up high or really, really loose when they're down low. So obviously it's giving that hunched over kind of feel that you can see at the side where the legs aren't quite going back far enough for him to stand up straight. The £30 price tag seemed a little bit higher for what I got, but do bear in mind that these weren't a UK release and it was all import stock, so we'd expected to pay over the odds for these. I do think the poor quality control was down to my own personal figure, so if you did get this figure, let me know in the comment what yours was like. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, please consider subscribing. I've got some more stuff that will be coming more towards the end of the month, and I've got another couple of bits that we'll review in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for those. And thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you next time.